So how to create a toggle using VRCFury. I'm just going to get right into this. On my avatar, I'm going to have this crown right here, my object I dragged in and attached to the bone of my avatar, I'm going to have as a toggle. So selecting over here in the hierarchy and coming over to the inspector side on the right, we're going to go down here to add component. Now you'll type in toggle, and as you'll see, toggle VRCFury. If this option doesn't show up, make sure over here in your VRChat Creator Companion, selecting the project and going to Manage Project. You're going to want to make sure VRCFury is selected and a part of the Manage Packages. If it does not show up in there, I'll have a link to the download in which you can go and download off the site and should be able to upload to your VRC Creator Companion. Continuing on, we're going to go here and we're going to do Add Action. Now there are several options in here, but in this version in the middle, Object Toggle is the one you're going to want to select. And now we're going to want to select the object we want to toggle on and off. And I'm going to click and grab it over here from the hierarchy and drag it into this box under our script. Another way you can do this is if you press this little circle off to the right and type in what the name of the object is. And you can do it that way. And you have the option to have it so when selecting this object in your menu, you can have it turn on or off or flip states. We're now going to have it so you can choose in your menu where you want it to be for the toggle. So by default, you could just name this whatever you want. And as soon as you open up your menu and go to toggles, that'll be one of the first things that shows up. Otherwise, you can press options and select menu folder to choose where you want that toggle to be within your radial menu. For now, I'm going to leave it just in the default first page. And another important option you're going to want to select if you want is saved between worlds. And what that does is when you leave, go through a portal, join someone, whatever, you leave the world you're currently in that you toggled your object on. Once you join someone else and load in, that object's now going to be turned back off or whatever it was before you toggled that object. So by selecting an options and save between worlds, that'll save whatever you did between worlds so you don't have to go back and select it back on every time you join someone. Now there are many other options, a lot of which I don't really know a lot about, so we're just going to keep this simple for now and possibly have a more in-depth video in the future about this. Now another thing I'm going to look at here is how I have two toggles. So on this one I have my hard hat right here, and I have it so it turns off a separate object, which is my hair, in the same script. So to do that, we're just going to go back here and press this little plus sign, and same again, we're going to select object toggle. I'm going to select the hair, for example, again, and all you're going to do is then have it so it turns off in this drop-down menu. That way, if you toggle on clothing or other separate objects and something else is in the way, you could have it so it turns that off all in the same toggle. Well, that is pretty much it for the basics of the toggle. Hope this helped. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.